2 seconds here.
Yes, I can.
Do 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 do.
Matthew, it's Judge Janine, and I wanted to congratulate you on the Don't Unfriend Me show at the Dumb Show. I was thinking about that whole thing the other day when I thought it was right after Donald Trump was elected that everybody on the left started unfriending anyone on the right. So I'm glad you're calling them out. We've got a great name for the show, and I hope that you're true to the values, conservative values, Republican values, and that you call those people out. I think it's great. And I know you've got 135,000 followers. I hope you get a lot more. And just keep the faith. Keep fighting. I think we may get America back. But in the meantime, we've got a steep hill to climb. And you're one of the fighters, one of the patriots. So thank you for what you're doing.
Adjusting transmitter output.
This is the Don't Unfriend Me show with your hosts Matt, Leroy, Amy, Olivia and Mike. Geopolitics, military analysis and election coverage. Coming to you live on the Spreely.tv network and all major social media channels at The Dumb Show. Honest, direct, unfiltered. We can agree, we can disagree. Just don't unfriend me.
Hi.
Hi.
We were going to watch that, but we did that Friday. I'm so sorry. And then I had to do it on nice late. Nice timing, Leroy.
Well, it was going in order.
We practiced this for 5 minutes before the show, and you had to, whatever. Dylan Mulvaney, we watched it on the Izzo show today, and he made me watch the full 3 minutes and 50-second song, and I almost jumped off the first step of my stairs and ended it all. Leroy Jenkins, welcome to the Don't Unfriend Me show. How are you, buddy?
Hey, thank you very kindly. I'm doing well. Everyone is looking well.
Yeah. Yeah, very, very well lit and shiny.
Especially you, Matt. Especially you.
Well, dude, it's a gift. Olivia, how are you?
I'm doing all right. My computer's having some serious issues right now.
What does that mean? Since it's a $3,000 computer, and I definitely want to know what that means.
I can't click on anything. It was working, and all of a sudden, nothing's working anymore. I can't get into Facebook. I can't get into YouTube. And now I don't know, maybe it's my mouse. Can I have the power cord?
Yeah, it's right over here. Just grab it and have it. I've got a secondary.
Hey, Amy, how's it going?
Amy, how are you
guys.
doing? Oh, sorry. Hi, Amy.
That's okay. I'm used to it.
Oh,
Not from you guys. Not from you guys. Just in life.
I was like, God,
generally.
what a victim. There you go, just complaining about your black privilege again. Seriously.
Yeah.
So it's a foursome tonight. No, but it could be with the right amount of alcohol. Thank you, Angel. Listen, I got to address something because, sometimes you never know if people are serious. Sarah, I think I inherited Sarah from Spreely. Sarah and I have never met. In fact, we've talked just a little bit here and there through chat. And I guess when I was on Izzo's show today, I was making fun because Izzo wanted me to talk about the M1 behind me. And I was like, okay, so I'll tell you the story. I'm like, oh, wait a second. We've got to do the intro of the show. We don't have enough time. He's like, oh, yeah, we do. And I'm like, okay. So anyway, Vietnam. And he's like, oh, actually, no, we don't. I said, yeah, I know, because I'm your producer. And I guess Amy took offense. Sarah took offense to this. Sarah, in the world of podcasting, there is something called being facetious or being sardonic. And in this case, that's most assuredly what I was doing. I don't want to produce for Izzo. I don't even like Izzo. The only reason I do his show is because it gives me 5 or 6 of his followers who actually watch his stuff to watch my stuff too. So that's really all it is. So please don't take offense. And if Izzo, if you're watching this, I'm just doing this to placate Sarah. I really do like you and care about you, as far as you know. So yeah. Every time you smoke a cigar, it just brings out my phallic side. So I just wanted to let you know, Sarah, I have no desire to make less money, and I'm not going to be. I have no desire. You're the producer of the show. I can't insult someone who I really don't have a relationship with, other than we chat over social media. So you're loved, you're appreciated. You help my show tremendously, and that's all I wanted to say. So I hope that she understands. Good. Yeah. Anyway, Mondays you can find us on the Rants of Izzo show, and it's always a fun show that I used to be able to, but now I just can't even broadcast it on Facebook and YouTube because I don't want to get banned. So I just go ahead and let him roll with it. If you want to watch it, you can watch it on the Spreely Network. Go to Rants of Izzo, and you'll see me there every Monday at 1 o'clock. We've got a lot to do today. Amy Bordeaux says his cigar made me crave a blunt today. Okay, Snoop Dogg, thanks for sharing. So here's what we're going to do. First of all, I just want to give you a quick update. We're going to go to the video scene here. The Dumb Show, we've been doing some work on it. And one of the number one complaints that we had on the Dumb Show is people said, hey, it's really hard to shop your store. And I'm like, what? I don't think it's, oh, by the way, I forgot to change all these windows. Son of a beach. I'll have to do that each time now, but that's okay. We'll be fine. So if you take a look, it used to look like this, and it's slowly changing. But see how they're all black shirts? Yeah. And although that looks good, you can't tell that there's different colored shirts. It looks like they're all black. Now you can see a couple of them creep in there. Is all the shirts have a variant degree of colors. They're all in 3D, so you can actually see what they look like with somebody filling them out.
I love that top hoodie, by the way.
Yeah, it's just a lot cleaner, right? So
yeah.
Really real simple, really easy to surf and see. And there you go. So I've only got about 50 more individual SKUs to do, but we'll get it all done, and then it will be just as easy. By the way, a lot of people have been asking, Matt, when are you going to get the Make Women Female Again shirt in stock? Guess what? It's in stock. And I don't know how long it will be, but it's here. We have small, medium, and large. Extra large and 2XL, unfortunately, are sold out for a little bit of time. We're going to try to get those back in, but you can get small, medium, and large right now on the Don't Unfriend Me show.
I have one, and it ripped.
Yeah, well, it's available and it's there for you and your viewing pleasure.
You know what I was thinking about for your store? I don't know if it's a possibility.
Okay.
Earrings.
Yeah, we're not going to do earrings.
Okay.
Yeah,
I was just thinking that would
that's
be-
just not going to happen. What do you want me to do with earrings?
Do our like
What
our
about other
logo and
rings?
stuff.
Yeah, like
Oh.
penis rings.
Yeah. Or like what are they called? The
I didn't
gibbets,
say that.
Where the
Well, here's the cool thing: we with Leroy, we can get a 2-for-1. We can just get women's hoops, and he can use that. You know, the ones that basically are like that big, and he can just 2-for-1.
Did you hear the story about that? The guy who
No.
put 11 rings on him.
No, I don't know if this is the show to do it, but why the hell not? I mean, it's the Don't Unfriendly show. We were
my
talking about transvestite porn on Dom Izzo's site, and he showed me a boy named Chanel Santini, and I have to say, I want to sleep with a transsexual now. I have to admit.
Something I need to know there, dear.
Yeah, well, he was talking about it. He's like, dude, Matt, just look up Chanel Santini. I said, I don't want to do that. My wife will get mad at me. He says, look it up. Trust me. I'm like, what am I going to find here? He's like, it's fine. Just look her up. And I'm like, that's a beautiful woman. There's no doubt. Thanks, man. And he's like, that's a guy. And I'm like, well, I'm gay. So there it is.
There you go.
Just thought I'd come out and let everyone know after 50 years.
There you go.
I just figured out that I'm Leroy.
I'm a front. I'm a cover.
Don't pretend, Leroy, that you wouldn't feel the same way. I mean, just Google it. You'll understand what I'm talking about.
I haven't seen this person, so.
Well, let me just tell you, it's scary what a little bit of makeup and a wig can do. But here's the thing: still not a woman. No matter how you want to go ahead and slice and dice it. But Amy, tell us about the ring story. Since we're talking about transvestites, we might as well. And we turned everybody off. So go ahead.
I don't know the full story. I heard it on another news broadcast, but some gentleman, no idea where, had 11 rings and they were metal. So he put all on.
My
they
God.
don't know why. I guess the doctors are like, why the heck did you do this? And he had no explanation, no excuse, no reason. And so they had a hard time getting them off because his...
Literally?
No pun intended.
Yeah, it's like literally or what?
Yeah. I guess because it
Ow.
was so... Yeah. I mean, I didn't look up pictures or anything, but I heard it.
Well, I wouldn't. There's Chanel Santini.
Okay.
Looks like a woman.
Okay.
That's pretty much, it looks like, and the reason why I was like, wow, is because if she looks like anybody, it's Monica Bellucci.
Yeah, she does.
Which is like my number one, like not just cut off my finger, but the whole damn arm. And the second one, if you want to, because I think Monica Bellucci is by far one of the most beautiful women. And she's the most beautiful woman on earth. And that's terrifying. So I just told him, I just said, well, you know what? Listen, it's not like we haven't said on this show that when we go through Dylan Mulvaney's, there's times where it looks very Audrey Hepburnish in some of the way, when she doesn't talk. He doesn't talk. But yeah, it's a little bit shocking. And he told me, I was like, all right, well, look at this. And I said, is this show makes me uncomfortable. Do I have to come back next week? And he said, yes. And I said, all right, well, can't wait to see what you have for me next week.
That's the problem, though, is that you can, I'm sure that in an alternate universe somewhere, that if you put Clint Eastwood in a dress with the proper amount of makeup, I mean, he would look smashing, right? But
no, not like that. I don't know.
But the fact of the matter is, there's so many legitimate, biological differences between the two that I don't know, man. I think I just need more than the movie poster in order to kind of confirm that,
Yeah, I don't know about that, dude. This doesn't necessarily make me feel right inside. I mean, look at that. That's ridiculous.
I would be very curious to see what this person looked like when they were a male.
Yeah, same.
They are a man.
They are a male. I'm just curious what they look like before they went through the transition.
I don't. They haven't gone through a transition. It's still okay. Let's.
It looked like she had a good pair of boobs right there.
Okay, that's not a transition. You got a boob job. That's it. But my understanding is that all the working parts are there. But it's just insane. I mean, and here's the thing. Good for her. I don't care. I'm down for it. If you can look like that and you can. And you're not dealing with facial hair and a little bit of a gut. Good for you. It doesn't bother me at all. And I can actually say that guy is hot. I can say that. It's a hot guy. But I'm sorry. There are some geometry challenges with that relationship that I'm not comfortable with. I enjoy an innie, not an outie. So that's just the way it works. Is that fair?
Hey, I saw the crying game, and I'll tell you what. I mean, there's going to be unless it's disclosed, like you get to go on that first date, right, or a second date, third date, whatever.
Right.
But by the time it comes down to kind of closing that deal, you're going to have certain expectations, right? I mean,
well, if the Adam's apple doesn't give it away, and then like when you both get up to go to the bathroom, she follows you in, there's a probably good chance that you know what you need to know. But like I said, here's the deal. I have never denied that a trans person should be able to enjoy their life to the fullest and be whatever they want. Just don't pretend that you are something you're not. And I said it on Izzo today. If you can't accept who you are, how do you expect us to?
Right. Yep.
That's a very good point.
That's it. That's all I'm saying. Amy says geometry challenges and she's laughing. All right. So enough of talking about chicks with dicks. So
hey, quick question.
What?
There was a question about the.
I was drunk. I didn't mean to. I don't care what the photos say.
The photos.
What's that?
The make women female again. Does it come in a hoodie?
I don't know. You have to ask Chanel Santini. Oh, the other type of. So yes, it does. It's right next to it. It's right up there. It's in a beautiful red, comfortable hoodie. Go get it.
Yes, Kristen. It comes in a hoodie.
Oh, sorry. Yes, Kristen. It does. Anyway, let's. Kyrie, what do you say? And I said about Palestine and Israel. I love it when people speak for me. You got Lee's panties in a bunch. What did you say? I said or some crap. Let's air this out now, so we can just get this going and get this show. I mean, we've got plenty of people on to watch this. Let me know what you're talking about. What did I say that you think I said that I shouldn't have said? That I'm a celebrity and I'm putting on a show or some bullshit? Because I don't play that game. I don't know what you're talking about. So why don't we be specific so I don't have to pretend I care. Okay. Let me know. Thanks. So let's get to the show while he mulls that over. Oh, hello, Amy. Hello, Libra. Great show, guys. Much love. Okay, that's not what I asked, but that's okay. He was probably typing that while I asked the question. Holy bloodbath. This is going up on the site. This is the new meme tonight that'll be going up. All the wonderful talking heads screaming bloodbath. We did a show on this. I did a show. They didn't do anything. They come along for the fun part and the hard stuff. I
just
do.
had a perfect meme. Remember that movie Rowdy Roddy Piper with the glasses? They live with the ugly people, and they all said, he sees us, that kind of thing.
Nope, but tell us anyway.
Put a caption above that said, he just said bloodbath, and expect outrage.
We should watch. I don't know what you're talking about, but that's okay. But did you watch Gross Point Blank?
What?
Olivia doesn't know what day it is, let alone a movie from a year ago, 10 years ago, 20 years ago.
It was 20.
Was it 20? She wasn't even alive, dude. Yeah. I mean, I remember our first date. I had to pick her up after elementary school. So did
what movie? I totally missed it. Sorry.
It was called They Live. It was back from the late 80s, and it was this it was a science fiction. It was based on this idea that some guy would go around, like everything that you see as normal is actually like some sort of hypnosis, and some group found out about it and they invented a pair of glasses, and when you put the glasses on, all of a sudden you could see past all of that, and the world was seen as in black and white with all of these subtle references that said like consume, obey, like all of these like subliminal things to keep you under control. That was the idea behind that.
I've never seen it.
Oh, it was fantastic. Whatever.
I'll add it to the list.
Matt did that on me.
Did you watch Gross Point Blank yet?
No, I didn't.
You've never seen that movie?
No, he says he has. He hasn't. He's lying. He's never seen it.
20 years ago, he did.
No, he hasn't seen it. He says he saw it, but he doesn't remember. See, the thing about Leroy and I is you need to see a movie once, and then we can tell you every line in it. He didn't see it. He's lying. He's just He's just it's disinformation. Don't trust him. He's an intel. He's a spy. He lies for a living. He lies for a living. All right, so watch that movie and then get back to me. Seriously, I'm disappointed in you.
I will.
I'm disappointed in you.
I'm writing it down.
You should, Gross Point, because you haven't seen it. That's why you need to write it down. So Gross Point Blank. Folks, we're going to watch today's show. We haven't done this in a while. I know a lot of people haven't. It's really a quick show, but it's going to set the premise for a lot of the conversation tonight. So we kind of need to watch it. And honestly, I'd rather watch that than the media and Jen Psaki and everybody else. Should just take a short period of time. It's like a 12-minute video, and I'll forward through all the music and stuff. Here we go. Good morning, Jonah. Shit. Thanks for reminding me, honey.
Man, look at that hair. Whew.
Dude, leave my hair alone. You going to make fun of my forehead again? I mean, it only took me like 6 months to get over it last time. Here we go. It is a big forehead, dude. You can land a truck on it.
You have hair, so I don't.
Yeah.
Can't hear you.
I know. I'm working on it. Good friend.
Speak up. Damn it.
Make sure there's no echo. Hold on. Copious amounts of notes. Instead, nope. Okay, got a broadcast audio. Why isn't it working? See, this has been happening. Hold on, everybody. Let's see. Preferences. And we are going to broadcast audio. And this should work. There it is. And here we are. Enjoy, folks. Merry Christmas. This should work now. Femi Nation, the liberal media is at it again. Oh, boy. You know, I could have prepared copious amounts of notes. Instead, video. When liberals do what they do, you just go ahead and do a little research, and you can see it all laid out for you. It's literally a bloodbath. Ah!
Do you want the truth? Are you tired of being so confused? You feel
They just did a live band. Stop by and do me a favor, listen to them. They're amazing. You can find them on iTunes, and also go over to the page on Facebook. They just did a live video. Bloodbath 2024. Donald Trump said the word bloodbath. Whatever will we do? Nothing. Because who cares? It's just an idiom. It's just two words put together, blood and bath. It's not like anyone said, Nazi, racist, homophobic, transphobic, xenophobic comments. Now it's so bad you've got to pick out one word out of an entire speech, and instead of just reporting on the speech and what the context was, you've got to worry about a word? Okay, we'll do it. That's what you want to do. I'll make an ass out of the media yet again. Here it is, the actual full video. This isn't like tiki torches. This isn't Charlottesville, where there's very fine people on both sides, where you guys murdered and butchered that soundbite, and you only ran on that for 4 years. How long are you going to run on Bloodbath? I don't know. Watch. Here's the real clip.
Mexico has taken, over a period of 30 years, 34% of the automobile manufacturing business in our country. Think of it. Went to Mexico. China now is building a couple of massive plants where they're going to build the cars in Mexico and they think that they're going to sell those cars into the United States with no tax at the border. Let me tell you something to China. If you're listening, President Xi, and you and I are friends, but he understands the way I deal, those big monster car manufacturing plants that you're building in Mexico right now, and you think you're going to get that, you're going to not hire Americans, and you're going to sell the cars to us. Now, we're going to put a 100% tariff on every single car that comes across the line, and you're not going to be able to sell those cars. If I get elected, now if I don't get elected, it's going to be a bloodbath for the whole, that's going to be the least of it. It's going to be a bloodbath for the country. That'll be the least of it. But they're not going to sell those cars. They're building massive factories. A friend of mine, Mexico has taken, over a period of...
Oh, the horror. I mean, they didn't hit him on the President Xi is my friend line. For sure that would have happened. As we were watching that video, we just got a flash, and it says that Donald Trump's lawyers are saying that he cannot post bond in the civil fraud case. You've got the $500 million appeal, so either they don't have enough to do both or either. So Bloodbath will be gone by the time I'm done with this video. The new outrage will be that Trump is bankrupt and Trump doesn't have the funds to do this. Once again, the narrative constantly changes. So all the frustration over this is going to be gone, but I'm not going to let it, because I'm going to show you why this is completely ridiculous. Because Joe and the Ho in the morning on MSNBC started the outrage, like they always do, because nothing like a fresh cup of coffee followed by a cup of bullshit to start your day. Here it is.
He's talking about a bloodbath for America. It's laid out in the terms of it. And these idiots on Twitter, these idiots on cable news, these idiots on Sunday shows going, well, yeah, presidents, he was talking only about the auto.
Why is he talking like he's from 1940, she? I don't understand. Go get me a copper. What the hell is he?
This is one more. It's just bullshit. Let me say that at 6:15 a.m. It's just bullshit. He knew what he was doing. We're not stupid. Americans aren't stupid.
No, you just said Americans were all idiots. Oh, wait, it's just the ones that vote for Trump. Got it.
He was talking about a bloodbath. Sometimes a bloodbath means a bloodbath. And when he finishes by saying, and that's just going to be the least of it, seriously, these people may be stupid. We're not. He's talking about a bloodbath for America.
I'm confused. Who's stupid? And some of them are, some of them aren't. Then it just depends on what part of the story he's trying to convey. Obviously not the sharpest tool in the shed, not a rocket surgeon without a doubt, but the media hypocrisy of using the word bloodbath. It's interesting because you would figure that the media would understand that the internet is forever. And when you hit a sitting president or a former president or a politician, a celebrity, a musician, it doesn't matter. You better make sure that you haven't done the same thing. Because if you espouse that bloodbath somehow is a word that incites violence, then here are the examples of the media doing the exact same thing.
But after they leave New Hampshire, it's a bloodbath on her home turf. That's really tough. Trump has left a lot of corpses in his wake. I mean, we can count the bodies.
As part of the, quote, MAGA drive to take over Maricopa County. And the headline refers to it as an impending bloodbath.
Columnist Charles Blow has a new piece for the New York Times entitled A Biden Bloodbath.
2018 midterms, you can bet that they 100% are fearing a slaughter. In fact, the word bloodbath and massacre come up frequently.
The Republican Party will be destroyed. It's going to be a bloodbath.
There's going to be a bloodbath one way or the other.
Bloodbath for Bernie Sanders.
It's been a bloodbath. They're shaping up to be a bloodbath.
Head off a bloodbath in next year's crucial midterm.
Off-year elections are often a bloodbath.
This week's bloodbath for Democrats.
Kelly Clarkson, when did she become a
bloodbath at the ballot box?
Holy shit. She doesn't look like that anymore at all. When did she go what? I don't understand. What? She went from caramel macchiato to a white chocolate mocha with whipped cream on top of it. What happened? Oh.
There could be a Republican bloodbath.
They'll talk about a bloodbath.
It's a bloodbath. I have to talk about you. And
It's going to be a bloodbath all day long. Is in for a bloodbath.
Hasn't been a bloodbath on the way down. Donald Trump bloodbath. Be a bloodbath.
3 times you've said it. You
predicted to be a bloodbath. May not be the bloodbath.
It would be a bloodbath.
More of a bloodbath.
It's going to be a bloodbath in November.
Possible Biden bloodbath this November.
Fox, really?
A bloodbath on Wall Street.
There's going to be a bloodbath.
Hey, Don Lemon got fired from CNN and X within a quarter, then got hired and fired again. I guess he wanted a Cybertruck and wanted millions of dollars. He wanted a foot rub. I guess he wanted his own masseuse. I don't know, a bunch of stuff. It's crazy.
In Alabama, into a bloodbath.
Obviously, there was a bloodbath. It was a bloodbath. We're down 800.
I will say the people using the word bloodbath are all very DEI compliant, very diverse, the whole panel here.
This bloodbath at Department of Homeland Security.
And it's a bloodbath today.
There was going to be this bloodbath.
Election bloodbath.
It could be a bloodbath for them.
Bloodbath, possibly. Bloodbath that went through with the Attorney General.
Bloodbath 99.
4 times, you sons of a...
The bloodbath is going to look like...
Presided over a bloodbath in the diplomatic corps.
Absolute, in my opinion, blood.
Go figure, the Young Turks, the dumbest people on the planet.
The Democrats.
Spit it out today, Junior.
Calling it ticket sales turned into a bloodbath.
Ticket sales for singer Taylor Swift's latest tour.
It's safe to say the fans had a bloodbath for the company after the fiasco.
Oh, you cheeky love. Yeah, give me a break. You can't sit here and pretend that using a word somehow incites violence and insurrections, unless you actually want to go down that road, because that's what you said Donald Trump did, even though he never said anything like that. But here's some examples of actual violence and inciting violence that took place. $2.5 billion in damages, 200 plus riots from BLM. Do we not have a memory here, media?
I just don't even know why there aren't uprisings all over the country, and maybe there will be.
People need to start taking to the streets. This is a dictator.
Can someone let me know who Not Me Thanks is before I ban him in case we like him? Does anybody want to educate me on who this dipshit is?
Isn't that the guy that came on to the show where he was like all over the place when it was you and I on?
I have no idea.
Yeah, it was just you and I on. It was last week.
Yeah, this shows how this shows how impactful he was to me.
Well, he couldn't get a good internet connection. We couldn't see his face. The guy who offered to pay.
Yeah.
The bastard.
All right. Well, yeah. Okay. So, yeah, it's funny because, yeah. All right. I'll give him a couple more chances.
You know, there needs to be unrest in the streets for as long as there's unrest in our lives.
Enemies of the state.
Show me where it says that protests are supposed to be polite and peaceful.
Do something about your dad's immigration practices, you feckless.
When they go low, we kick them.
How do you resist the temptation to run up and wring her neck?
The biggest terror threat in this country is white men, most of them radicalized up to the right.
I thought he should have punched him in the face. I said, even if you lost, he insulted your wife.
Yes.
He came down the escalator and called Mexicans rapists and murderers. He said, well, what do you think I should have done? I said, I think you should have punched him in the face and then gotten out of the race. You would have been a hero.
I'd like to punch him in the face. I said if we were in high school, I'd take him behind the gym and beat the hell out of him. Punch some people in the face!
When was the last time an actor assassinated a president?
They're still going to have to go out and put a bullet in Donald Trump, and that's a fact.
Look as his character is stabbed to death.
Where is John Wilkes Booth when you need him?
That's it right there. Pull it up. I have thought an awful lot about blowing up the White House.
A Missouri state senator is under investigation by the Secret Service after saying she hopes President Trump is assassinated.
I will go and take Trump out tonight. And if you see anybody from that cabinet in a restaurant, in a department store, at a gasoline station,
Marvin Hagler's looking rough.
you get out and you create a crowd. And you.
Yeah, two things. One is Kyrie says, I never said Matt plays a character, but we do put on for the camera. What's this we shit, white man? You're not a part of my production. Don't tell me what I do and don't do. I don't. Everyone who knows me personally, this is who I am, real life and show. I don't put on airs for anyone. Never have. I don't pull punches. This is what you get. If you knew me personally, you wouldn't say that. I don't appreciate. I'm not a celebrity. Thanks. Good try though. Stop posting so much pro-Palestine shit if you don't want people to call you out. Nobody fucking cares what your opinion is.
Back on them, and you tell them they're not welcome anymore, anywhere.
And sadly, the domestic enemies to our voting system and our honoring our Constitution are right at 1600 Pennsylvania Avenue.
They're not going to stop before Election Day in November, and they're not going to stop after Election Day.
I don't understand. I might need a Venn diagram for that.
And that should be, everyone should take note of that on both levels, that this is.
And don't take it personal, man, but I don't like people speaking for me. So you might want to check with me first before you say something on a page that I don't visit that has nothing to do with me and represent me. You don't. So I take errors with it. How's that for me being consistent? There it is.
They're not going to let up, and they should not.
If you think we're rallying now, you ain't seen nothing yet.
Wow. If only they used the innocuous term bloodbath instead of all those things. I mean, really, just who cares? I mean, who cares? So Donald Trump used the term bloodbath, and lo and behold, the media is up in arms. Oh, no. Truly groundbreaking stuff, folks. It's not though the media has ever really relied on a bit of exaggeration of drama to reel in the audience. And they're all about subtlety, of course, acting shocked by a metaphor. Give me a break. How original. It's almost like they're back on their own penchant for sensationalism. It's only been 4 years. Trump's running again. Go figure. It's time. But see, they never stopped. This is an everyday cycle. Imagine if just for 1 second the media could ditch the drama and just embrace their role in educating the public. In fact, liberals are supposed to be the party of education, yet you seem like a bunch of petulant children who have their football and want to go home. But why go for that when outrage sells so well? Should Trump have picked a different word? Maybe. Was it the best choice? Arguably not. But let's not pretend the media hasn't overused it themselves. I just showed you how many times they did it, and that was from a low-level podcast. Imagine if I had some funding. Supporting abortion murder policies or ignoring cities with high violence or even running a nonstop COVID death ticker for 2 years, these are all examples of bloodbaths. The irony of these self-proclaimed guardians of truth being so over the top and sanctimonious is just too much to handle. And just for the record, because why not? Bloodbath. See you at 7 o'clock. God bless. Thanks for following the dumb show.
That was awesome.
All right.
Awesome.
So, yeah, need opinions. Let's start with, let's just follow and go, I don't know, counterclockwise, whatever it is. Olivia, go. What do you got?
I thought it was a great show. Watched it when we were eating dinner earlier. So I thought it was great. And I liked your hair, by the way.
Okay, that's great. Thank you for the review. What about the whole context? Like, what do you think about this bloodbath shit?
It doesn't surprise me that the left is doing this. They will latch on to something and take everything out of context and blow it up out of proportion. It's ridiculous. And they're all hypocrites because they do the same thing.
Hey, look, Amanda Robinson is here. We can all enjoy her bullshit talking points. She's so offended January 6th bloodbath that nobody died from, except one of the people who actually went into the building. It was so horrible. It was so bad that nobody died. Anyway, go ahead, Amy, your thoughts. Thanks, Liv.
I mean, I heard some of this today on different news outlets, and I thought it was pretty comical because they're literally taking the word bloodbath that he's saying and twisting the context. But if you play the full sentence, it's a completely different meaning. And it's like, that makes total sense. That's an obvious choice to me for what he's saying. I don't know. I thought it was pretty comical. And remind me when October rolls around that my costume will be a bloodbath.
Oh, I'm gonna do right. But it's gonna be there's gonna be water restrictions on my nozzle. It's gonna be California safe water spout. There's 3 definitions that you can use in bloodbath. Here they are: a great slaughter. Okay, that's the first primary. Everyone understands that there's different meanings within inside of a word, depending on context. Next, a notable, fierce, violent, or destructive contest or struggle. Or 3, a major economic disaster. That's Webster's Merriam Dictionary and Oxford Dictionary, folks. It's not me. And that's exactly what he said. So instead, they go ahead and use the primary meaning. That's not what he said. He was talking about economics. And it's the difference between connotation and context. It's absolutely had nothing to do, an overthrow of the government or rioting had nothing to do, it wouldn't have fit inside that speech. There was nothing in there. Now, did he go ahead and talk about the J6ers and do the national? Yeah, we'll talk all about that. And I'm going to make sure that I give you my opinion on that. But this and that are 2 separate things. Leroy, go ahead.
Yeah, everyone here has already hit every point that I was going to make. It is just further proof that the left, that the Democrats have an attention span of all of about 3 seconds. And they've gotten so desperate that now they're trying to take sentences out of speeches, out of paragraphs, out of context in order to put the blinder over the average American and say, look, this is what he said. You're going to have a bloodbath unless he gets reelected. No, slow down, think about it, review the entire footage, and then to Matt's point, that's when you realize this wasn't about the election necessarily. This is about finance. This is about a Chinese car company being pushed up from Mexico. That's what this is about. So, yeah.
Now, Amanda Robinson, of course, because she's not able to articulate her points effectively, has to change the subject. So sure, she called January 6th a bloodbath, which is not an economic disaster. So we're looking for the bodies piling up on the floor. You have absolutely no sentiment. At one side of your vagina, you say, well, Ashley Babbitt, she should have complied. And then the next side of your vagina, you go ahead and say that, she wasn't killed. You don't care about Ashley Babbitt. You don't care about anybody. And I've said that Ashley Babbitt should have complied, and she got exactly what was expected to happen when you break into an area that's secure, when the Capitol Police are playing defense and not, and that's the way it works. So anyone who stood post understands you shoot first and ask questions later. So I have no disagreement there. You're also talking about January 6th, like this podcast somehow supports January 6th when none of us ever have. Not one person on this panel has ever said one good thing. So, Amanda, you're just a fucking troll, right? You're lonely. We know this. You like killing babies. We know this. We've had this conversation. You'll support up to 9 months of terminating a pregnancy. You said that openly on the show. You have no morals. You're reprehensible in every single way. You're untouched since then because nobody wants to deal with your bullshit baggage, and you're a single mom. And unfortunately, that is an amazing thing, but not when it comes to finding a man. So good luck. I don't know what to tell you. Maybe Dylan Mulvaney will take some pity on you or something, but this show is not here for you to go ahead and try to bait and get everyone frustrated, because that's you. That's what you do. Nobody here has ever defended J6, and nobody will, but you're just going to come in here and troll and do what you always do. So go kill a baby or something. We understand that's your fun time, so go do that. Okay, great. After this, we've got a situation where it comes to Jen Psaki, and we can watch that. And Jen Psaki is now out of the press secretary role, and she is deciding that it is important to jump on the bandwagon. I got to give her credit. Her presentation is fairly decent. She has the ability to convey messages, but I want you to point out and listen to how many inconsistent things are in this.
On all of the delays in the legal cases,
on multiple occasions. So ladies and Leroy, all right, ladies, do me a favor and take notes, listen, and see if you can point out the Sesame Street of Jen Psaki. Here it is. Enjoy.
It's Peppermint Patty.
It is. We're getting to it. This happens sometimes.
I'm not crazy. There's a gnat in my office.
Oh God. What are you doing? You trying to like swat it in the air?
I keep swatting it. It keeps flying in my face. So I'm not crazy. It's
the
really
show
here.
On
That's
all
all right.
of the delays on the
All right, we
legal
got it fired
cases,
up.
and
Here we
there are
go.
a lot. And we will spend time on that with two of your absolute favorite legal experts in just a little bit. But then late yesterday.
No, Amanda, I said nobody that you cared about would die. And you and I both know that if you're going to go ahead and say that January 6th, that she was an innocent bystander and she was killed, or a police officer trying to defend, stop trying to spin things. Lady, I'm not in the mood tonight. I'm going to fucking ban you. You only come by every 90 days whenever your welfare check comes in. So spend that somewhere else.
Yesterday afternoon, Donald Trump spoke at a rally in Ohio, and we decided we have to start here.
We're going to put a 100% tariff on every single car that comes across the line, and you're not going to be able to sell those cars if I get elected. Now, if I don't get elected, it's going to be a bloodbath for the whole. That's going to be the least of it. It's going to be a bloodbath for the country. That'll be the least of it. But they're not going to sell those cars.
It's going to be a bloodbath for the country. That will be the least of it. Now, the Trump team quickly said last night, nothing to see here. He was just talking about the auto industry. Consider the full context, everyone. Otherwise, it's irresponsible. Well, if they want us to consider the full context, let's do just that. Because the full context is that Trump kicked off this same exact rally by saluting the people who were convicted for the deadly assault on the U.S. Capitol on January 6th, all to the tune of the national anthem sung by a choir of imprisoned insurrectionists. The full context is that some of the first words out of Trump's mouth last night, same rally, were thanking those rioters and calling them patriots. The full context is that he also said in this same rally, quote, if this election isn't won, I'm not sure that you'll ever have another election in this country. The full context is that he went on to say some undocumented.
Why do I assume you're on welfare? Because you already said you were. You don't remember our conversation because you're probably too drunk or stoned out of your fucking mind. So one of the two.
Immigrants are, quote, not people. And of course, the full context is that this is much bigger than one single speech. This embrace of political violence, this dehumanizing language. This is what Donald Trump has been preaching for years. In January, he warned that there will be, quote, bedlam in this country if his criminal prosecution derailed his campaign. Late last year, he echoed the dehumanizing language of Adolf Hitler, comparing his political opponents to vermin and saying immigrants are, quote, poisoning the blood of our country. Last month, he said there would be potential death and destruction if he was charged in the Manhattan criminal probe. And during his first term, he flat out refused to condemn the political violence at a white nationalist rally in Charlottesville, Virginia, saying there were very fine people on both sides. In 2020, he reportedly asked his defense secretary about shooting people who were protesting the death of George Floyd, saying, can't you just shoot them? Just shoot them in the legs or something. And of course, his very words inspired violence on January 6, 2021, when he told a crowd of his supporters to walk down to the Capitol and fight like hell because, quote, you'll never take back our country with weakness. Trust me, I could go on and on and on. We all know by now that Trump's allusions to political violence are not merely rhetorical. His supporters take them literally. That's part of the big problem here. And he knows that too. So no, we did not miss the full context. This was not some meandering off-message comment. This is his message. As the Biden campaign put it, this is who Donald Trump is, a loser who gets beat by over 7 million votes and then instead of appealing to a wider mainstream audience, doubles down on his threats of political violence.
Holy shit.
So we were planning.
Leroy, you get to go first this time. Merry Christmas. By the way, just for clarity, Amanda was banned. Why? Because I can't stand anyone who comes in every 90 days and just stirs shit up and who does not have a point, refuses to back it up. I don't have time for people like this. This show is designed to create dialogue, and I have brought her on this show, and I treated her very, very well. I was kind. I was nice as she talked about ripping babies out of the womb and snapping their arms off and crushing their skulls. I listened to her say those things. I listened to her talk about welfare. I listened to her talk about her own children, how much she loves them, but then talks the second time about how pro-abortion is the only way to go ahead and do things. She's a piece of shit. Okay, I don't have time for people like that. That person needs to get laid by a fire hydrant because that's the type of screwing that they need to unfuck their brain. Okay, I'm sorry. I don't have the time to be civil. I don't have the time to waste. We've got too much to cover. So she's gone. Okay, and then the other douche plow, not me, thanks, is gone because he was talking that he wanted to physically have sex with me. And I've already had a tranny encounter today. I don't need any more. Okay. I'm already having enough problems with my sexuality. I don't need some guy hitting on me too. If you're really good looking, look me up on Tinder. Okay. All right. Leroy, go.
Well, I was writing as fast as I could, and I could only get through about half of what she was saying because she was spitting out the lies so fast. But just right off of the bat, one thing that I noticed is when she gave like 4 or 5 examples of talking about things in context, and yet was doing exactly that, taking it out of context. Mm-hmm. That within itself is a huge lie. So it's a media manipulation. She was talking about the political violence, yet refused to address the prior 3 years of political violence that was happening during Trump's administration. All of the BLM riots and all that. Somehow that went unnoticed. And then she was talking about the vermin. There was that headline where she was addressing the vermin lie, how Donald Trump somehow embraced leaders like Mussolini and Stalin and like said, oh, look, our political opponents are vermin. No, again, out of context. Mm-hmm. Same thing with the very
These are the people who call all of us maggots. They call every one of us maggots. But he says the word vermin and all of a sudden they shit purple Twinkies.
Right. And then the last thing that I had written down here was the very fine people lie. That had already been debunked. I can't tell you how many times we did it on the show.
We did.
And so when you make the claim that somehow everything that you just listed was somehow in context when it's deliberately not, that just makes you a liar.
Listen, I got to admit, she puts on a good show. right? She's very polished. She's articulate, but every single word that she says is written down for her. And to me, if you watch that show I just did, 95% of it is ad lib. The last 5% of it, I'm looking at bullet points to go ahead and to finish my final thoughts, right? I've done shows where I write the whole thing and I read you 2,000, 3,000 words, and I've done an hour-long show where I don't write down anything. Amy used to watch those. They were live shows. I didn't read shit off of those things. It doesn't mean that her capabilities are less. It means that as good as she is, she could have an impact by telling the truth. It would be an amazing. You already have MSNBC, which tells lies, but you don't need more of it. Why don't you put those things in context? Because here's the thing. You know what I would have done? I would have said, Bloodbath, this is stupid. Let's focus on J6, how this guy's going to pardon J6ers, because this is the travesty. And playing a national anthem and saluting criminals. Criminals. These are people who have been held in a trial and have been found guilty, and you are saluting them with our national anthem and saying that you're going to pardon them. I would say that. I am going to say, I just said it. I think Donald Trump looks like a fucking idiot when he does that stuff. A fucking idiot. Because the amount of people who actually support what happened with J6, those aren't the votes you need, dude. You already got those people. And if you wanted to go ahead and ensure that every J6er was pardoned, you could have done that before you left office. And it would have been done retroactively or obviously proactively. All you had to do was just with a sweep of a pen, and you didn't do it. So don't sit here and, pretend. So you can hit him on the things you need to hit him on, but don't make shit up. That's what frustrates me. Amy, go ahead.
Totally agree with Leroy. I would love for you, Matt, because I don't have the time, to take her show and break it down point by point and just debunk her lies.
Sure. I'll do it tomorrow.
It would be great. It would be fun. I mean, like, she says this, but here's the actual in context reasoning behind it all. It was a joke. I don't like her anyway.
I would love to do a show on that, though. I think I'll do that tomorrow.
You're welcome. More work
Jen
for you.
Psaki. By the way, Kyrie says, I don't think I'm only pro-Palestine, but here's the but. See, you're just going to, everything after what you just said in your first sentence, you're going to go ahead and just devoid any type of original thought to that. You're just going to disprove everything you just said. I don't think I'm only pro-Palestine, but let me tell you why I'm only pro-Palestine, okay? But I think it's important to understand both sides have a legit argument. If only say the side of Palestine, I would not buy Starbucks, still do. I have no fucking idea what you're talking about. What I do know is that Israel has done everything humanly possible to ensure that Palestine was thriving and autonomous from Israel in the middle of Israel, okay? The whole reason this happened was to interrupt peace talks with Saudi Arabia, which would have essentially created peace in the entire Middle East. How goes Saudi Arabia? Goes the rest of the country. Iran didn't want that to happen, so that by proxy, they went ahead and had the Palestinians make this plan on this day to disrupt the fourth piece of the Abraham Accords that Donald Trump put in motion. That means they don't want peace. There is no excuse for that. I don't give a fuck what happened over the last 3,000 years. For 17 years, they went ahead and gave Palestine everything they could, from work visas to permits, giving them 75,000 people to come into Israel and actually work. They tried to go ahead and offer them a path to peace. They didn't have the barbed wire to keep them in. They had a fucking barbed wire to keep them out. And they ruthlessly used those opportunities to train, where 91% of that population who you call innocent of adults believe that Israel are the infidels and should die a fiery fucking fuckball death. And you're going to sit here and tell me when they supplied pipes and they supplied humanitarian aid and food and everything else, and all that happened was Hamas took that and used that for the terrorist groups and held people hostage, who built most of their bases underground hospitals and within those hospitals, so civilians were killed at maximum casualties. There is no fucking Palestinian side. There's Israel and then there's Palestine. And that is a very long history. But when it comes to Hamas, who are hidden upon the people, those Palestinian people in Gaza and West Bank had the ability to take them over. Instead, they elected them, they coveted them, they protected them, they hid them, and now they're paying a price. There is no Palestinian story here. I'm done. I'm sick of having this conversation. We've had it a million times. There is no two sides to this argument. When you attack a sovereign nation with terrorist attacks, you will reap the whirlwind. Margaret Thatcher, Ronald Reagan did the same fucking thing and nobody blinked. We did it to Iraq, who didn't deserve it the second time, and nobody blinked. We did it in Afghanistan. We did it in Yemen. We did it in Bosnia. We did it in Syria. We did it in Greece. We did it in Afghanistan. We did it in fucking Vietnam. We did it in Laos. And nobody blinked. Wars happen. This is a war. People die. If you don't want Palestinians to die, then surrender. Hamas surrenders. That's all it takes. We're done. We put up our arms. We'll face your courts. That's all they got to do. They don't want that. They want this. The next thing that they want is they want an American flagship hit. And if they do that, then they have the win they're looking for. That is what they're doing in the Black Sea. That is what they're doing in the Straits. That's what the Yemenis are trying to stop. That's what the Houthis want more than anything else, is an American vessel hit. And Joe Biden is giving them the war they want by putting a fucking permanent port in Israel to resupply and help Gazans. That fucker is going to get hit. Watch. And Americans are going to die. I promise you with everything in my soul, that will be hit, and that will be the start of this. That will kick it all off.
And what's going to happen? Are all these people who are all pro-Palestine, are they going to be happy that the Americans died? Are they going to support America at that point, or are they going to still side with Palestine?
They're going to use it for recruiting videos, and it will kick off America full-fledged in this war, because it's going to take out 500-600 civilians and Americans and mix and English and everyone else who's on those vessels. The port in a war zone is the dumbest thing you could possibly do, because it is the most susceptible to sabotage. The most susceptible, because you have 3 areas of attack: air, land, and sea. And you can put a diver in there and they can hit that thing. You can hit it from land with a suicide truck. You can hit it from air with a drone. And you've got to have 3 levels of security. What they're doing is completely dangerous and absolutely negligent from Joe Biden. Watch what happens. I'll bet you $10,000 that happens. Go ahead, Leroy.
I took Olivia's comment to mean, how do the Americans who support Palestine, how will they feel? Is that what?
That's what I was. Yeah, that's where I was going with. Is the Americans who are supporting Palestine right now? Right. If that happens and thousands of Americans die, what side are they going to be on at that point?
Yeah, it won't be thousands, but it'll be hundreds, and it'll probably be an American vessel or one that's leased through us. It doesn't matter.
Well, we've seen comments like that on Facebook, on Twitter, and everything else. We've seen these people, these Americans, who say, well, it serves us right, or we shouldn't be there, or, the military is, you're all monsters, this kind of thing. Those people, those Americans do exist. They're out there, and they don't want us, enforcing that kind of thing. They look forward to the days where some Americans get hurt or killed.
Yeah,
I agree with that, Leroy. I've
seen it.
I've unfortunately, I don't know if it's the area we're in, or I don't know. I just feel like there's a lot of pro-Palestinian people around this area, and I am surprised by that. Truly.
They're not even Muslim.
Right.
The Muslims don't even want the Palestinians. Why do you think nobody will take them and open up their country? Because they're a bunch of fucking terrorists.
Yeah. And I think people will be sad as it is to say that. I think there will be people who are happy if we lose American citizens, which is disgusting to say.
Of course.
But people are gross. I don't know.
I think it's horrible that there's kids being pulled out of there. I think it sucks. Yeah, yes. But here's the thing. You can't sit here and weigh it and say, well, okay, there's a certain level of Palestinians that have died. Now we stop. That's not the way this works. Israel, I told you this was going to happen. Nobody believed me. Everyone said, oh, no, Israel won't do this. They're not going to go in. They're not going to. I told you. I said Israel's going to take the gloves off and they're going to flatten Gaza. And then they're going to hit West Bank. If you think that they're never going to stop. This ceasefire, that Hamas doesn't want this done. They don't want this stuff. This is a holy war. This has nothing to do with property. It has nothing to do with money. This is a theological war. This is not what you think it is. This is Allah. This is the resting place. This is the place where resurrection and the end of times will take place. This is a coveted territory by both religions. This has nothing to do with what you think it is. This has nothing to do with land, ports, money. Israel is sick and tired and done of having terrorists live in their backyards. And trust me, if Ohio did this, and they did this for as long as they've done it, we would flatten them. People are like, oh, well, you know, Palestinians, 1940s, Israel came in and took their land. Yeah, but once the Roman Empire took it from Israel, this happens. Why do people think all of a sudden with the birth of the United States that conquering countries ended? It's been going on since the freaking dawn of time. It hasn't changed. And while you were sleeping, there has been 172 other freaking country civil wars, coup d'etats, overthrow of the government since 1940, and you can't name one of them. Where masses amount of people, graves of people have been murdered, slaughtered, and genocide has taken place, and you can't name one of them. But because the media cares, all of a sudden you give a shit? Give me a break. Nobody was crying over Palestine when it was happening. Nobody was crying before October 7th. And honestly, once this has its moment in time and something else happens, nobody will be crying for him after this. This is bullshit.
Can I add something to that?
Yeah, you can. I'm so sick of this conversation.
Post-World War II, 1944, right? Treaty of Bretton Woods happened, okay? I think it was 90 nations who got together in New Hampshire to discuss what the future of the world looks like. Now, at that time, after the defeat of Japan and after the defeat of Germany, right, the United States held all the cards. Post-World War II, the United States controlled something like 2/3 of all gold. We were responsible for more than half of all global manufacturing at some point, right? So we had all of the cards in our hands to basically say, hey, look, if we wanted to, we could have easily taken over Japan or Germany, and we didn't. We chose not to. Right? There was nothing left of those countries. They had no military to speak of, no navy.
We demilitarized them.
Right? So we had every opportunity to do exactly that, to go in and take these countries over, and we chose not to. So when Matt is talking about these 173 other civil wars that have happened, think about that. We chose to stay the hell out of it. We could have easily done it. So, and this is specifically aimed for the people that are the pro-Palestines and how America is so evil. We chose to not get involved with that crap, right? And sure, we play some other political bullshit, you know, behind the scenes. Absolutely. But it could have gotten a lot worse. A lot worse.
Sure.
And so to basically throw that into Americans' faces and say, no, you had this coming. No, that's bullshit, because we chose to stay peaceful, to remain peaceful about that transition.
And that's why we gave them $3.5 billion for their own defense. The United States could have been a hell of a lot more influential than they are. In fact, the only president to ever actually get involved in Israel politics, truly get involved when it comes to relocation of the embassy, overall capital, protection, and increase in funding, giving them certain military weapons, was Donald Trump. And even after all of that, the Abraham Accords were still moving forward. This is only about peace in the Middle East. Muslims have declared holy war against the infidels and anyone who opposes them. Period. Full fucking stop. Full fucking stop. And they have never stopped this holy war. It's been going on for 2,000 years. And if you think that they were going to allow Saudi and Arabia, two of the biggest, most influential people, that is like taking Mike Tyson and Evander Holyfield and having them team up against Pee-wee's fucking Playhouse and having a Royal Rumble. Saudi Arabia and Israel have the most military might in that region, and dare I say, almost as much, if not more, than Europe. And you're going to put them together? Middle East didn't want that shit. And then also geographically, it creates a very large divide between those two countries. And if you ever go to battle with Israel or Saudi Arabia, nobody's going to be able to fight that two-front war. That's like Japan and Germany to the Middle East. They don't have the capability. They don't have the mechanized infantry. They don't have the air capability. You put Saudi Arabia and Israel together, working together to protect the Middle East with that much area and geography between them. Like I said, it might as well have been Japan and Germany. So it was never going to happen. So now we need to go ahead and destroy those terrorist elements and anyone who continues to do so we can get peace in the Middle East. We're shifting gears.
Hey, I got a question. Did you see the last part of Kyrie's last comment?
No.
I don't get it. He said, if I only saw the side of Palestine, I would not buy Starbucks.
Yeah, I already told him I didn't know what the fuck that meant.
That's
yeah,
like,
I didn't understand
so
that.
confused.
I don't know. I just... Look, my patience tonight is not strong. I'm in a very good mood. I just don't have the patience tonight. I don't want to continue to have the same stupid conversations. Okay, J6 is over. I don't support it. I don't condone it. The Israel and Palestine. We got enough problems, folks. We got an election in 9 months, and honestly, this is fucked up beyond Hogan's goat. Okay, let's watch Elon Musk and Don Lemon because actually, this is very interesting. Hold on, let me open this up.
I heard about this.
Yeah, So if you don't know, Don Lemon was going to go work for Twitter. He says, I watched the full hour and a half. It's nauseating. This guy is such a pretentious douche. He's got Hodgkins up his yin-yang. And if you don't know what that is, go watch the movie Primary Colors, where he's talking to the black aide of the Clintons. And he's a black guy, but he talks like he's from Harvard, like he's a doctor. And Billy Bob Thornton is his political campaign guy. He's just a redneck, and he's just completely disgusting. He scratches nuts and spits type of guy and sexually harasses women. And him and this political commentator going back and forth. And he goes, give me a fucking break. He's like, you're Hodgkins. You're Ivy League. He's like, I got more black in me than you do. I got some slave in me. I can feel it. And you're just like, holy shit. This is Don Lemon. This guy is about as white as Joy Reid wants to be. All right, so let's go ahead and play this.
You recently called content moderation, though, a digital chastity belt. Do you think that you believe that X and you have some responsibility to moderate hate speech on the platform?
I think we have a responsibility to adhere to the law, and we have a responsibility to be transparent about when things are shown, why they're shown. So that's why we open source our algorithm. I think once you start going beyond the law, now you're putting your thumb on the scale. And we don't want to put our thumb on the scale.
It doesn't concern you that hate speech has gone. Research shows that it's gone up on the platform since you took over. That's not concerning to you?
I believe that is false. In fact, the research that I've seen says it went down.
The study from the Institute of Strategic Dialogue found that anti-Semitic tweets doubled from June 22 to February 2023. One study reported that as many as 86% of the posts reported for hateful content remained up after being reported. Hate speech on the platform is up.
So what they will typically do is they will count the number of posts, but not count the number of views. So what matters is, was that post given high visibility, or what did like one person see it? And if you look at the number of views of how many times was hate content viewed on our platform, it is down substantially.
Yeah. Well, that's not what the study shows. And you said you like transparency. I'm going to show you this. And
Don, you can get a study that will tell you whatever you want.
But these are just a handful of extremely. You look at those anti-Semitic and racist tropes and tweets.
Sure.
And as of this morning, they're still on X. And from your own content policy, these posts should have been deleted. So why haven't they been deleted? Why are they still there? Did you?
We delete things if they are illegal.
But these have been up there for a while.
Are they illegal?
They're not illegal, but they're hateful, and they can lead to violence. As I just read to you, the shooters, in all of these mass shootings, attributed social media to radicalizing.
So Don, you love censorship, is what you're saying?
No, I don't love censorship.
Then why are you asking?
I believe in moderation, but I don't believe in
censorship. Moderation is a propaganda word for censorship.
But don't you think free speech is one thing, right? Or not,
Look, if something's illegal, we're going to take it down. If it's not illegal, then we're putting our thumb on the scale and we're being censors.
you're putting your thumb on the scale for moderating hate speech. I mean, you don't put out child pornography. That's not.
It's illegal.
Some people would say that's considered censorship.
That's because they're fucking illegal idiots. That's because they're pedophiles.
Pedophiles.
Dude, this guy, Don Lemon, dude. He's like, I wish I could show you this Billy Bob Thornton clip from Primary Colors because it is so him, dude. All right, let's finish this, then we can rip it apart. Take your notes, folks.
I'm just saying,
No, I literally, Don, I literally said, if something is legal, okay, we will obviously remove it.
Okay.
But if it is not legal, the laws in this country are put forward by the citizens. We're a democracy. If those laws are put in place by the people, we adhere to those laws.
Okay, I
we
agree.
adhere to the laws of others. If you go beyond the law, you're actually going beyond the will of the people.
Okay, agreed with the law. But if you are doing something that promotes hate and violence and ultimately leads to killing, you don't feel you have any responsibility not to do that? When the people who are doing it admittedly are saying
there's articles all the time that lead to violence and killing. Don't they? Shouldn't they? Like you're applying a differential standard to.
But that would never be in mainstream media. These types of images, that type of language, those things would never be. We'd never, when I was in mainstream media, we'd never promote things that would be anti-Semitic. We would never promote things that would.
Anti-Semitic either.
Did you not see those?
You said promote. If content is on the platform, that doesn't mean we promote it.
But that wouldn't be on a platform for mainstream media at all.
No, but you can think of that's because the mainstream media has like, whatever, 20 articles a day. We have 500 million posts today.
Okay,
500
understood.
million.
Does it bother you? How do you feel about that when you see it?
I obviously disagree with that.
That's what he cares about. How you feel?
I think it's not good at all. It's terrible.
But you don't want to get rid of it on the platform, or at least moderate it.
The rules. What you're suggesting is censorship that goes beyond the law. And what I'm saying is I guess have a disagreement because I do not believe in censorship that goes beyond the law, and you do. We have a difference of opinion in that regard.
I understand that, but these are your own rules on your own platform. These go against the rules on your platform. That's why I'm asking you. If you said, listen, we allow everything, but that's not what your content rules say, and that's why I'm asking you why are they still there? Your own content policy. That's why I'm asking you that, not because.
Which part of our content policy says that we should delete these things?
Your content policy talks about hate speech.
Yes, we don't promote hate speech.
And so you don't consider that hate speech?
I guess you're not understanding what I'm saying. There's if there's you can find you can sign up right now and do 100 things that are hateful, but if nobody reads it, it doesn't matter. So you can think of X as being, it's much like the internet. It's not some tiny publication with like 20 articles a day. It's 500 million.
But everyone has the opportunity to read it, Elon.
Everyone has the opportunity to read the internet. Are you suggesting we should shut down the internet?
No, but you don't own the internet. I'm asking you about you and your responsibility on your platform. And so I see how you feel now. You don't agree. We don't agree on this.
Yes, you want censorship and I don't.
No, I don't want censorship. No, I want responsibility. I think there.
You desperately want censorship.
No, if I want to
censorship so bad you can taste it.
No, that's not true.
Yeah,
that's
he
not
does.
true. I think that there's right and wrong. And I think that when you have a platform that's as big as yours and as powerful as yours and as influential as yours, and you are a person of consequence to the world with what you do, that there is a certain responsibility that goes along with what you have on your platform and what you put out to the world. And I think that's important. You don't see that responsibility?
I think we have a responsibility to adhere to the law. And if people want the law changed, they should talk to their elected representative and get the law changed, and then we will adhere to the law.
Okay.
But if you want us to go beyond the law, that is us deciding to be censors. And I'm against censorship. I'm in favor of freedom of speech.
Yeah.
All right. So before we get to this, because honestly, Elon Musk is masterful, and anyone that thinks that this guy's crazy. No, this is what has turned into crazy talk because a purist, a constitutionalist in today's society, unfortunately sounds crazy. This is not the first time we've heard this. Jordan Peterson said this, Soul said this also, is that we are so far from where we were as a country and our beliefs in the Constitution and freedoms and personal individual liberty that people who talk and espouse these type of things seem to be complete extremists or alarmists. And it's absolutely the opposite. It's an amazing thing. So first, before we get started, if you could do me a favor, folks, you can donate at this right here. LinkTapGo/The Dumb Show. We survive on donations. It's something that you guys have helped out tremendously. Keeps the lights on. It keeps the show free. You can go to linktapgo.com/The Dumb Show. You can click on tip or donate. If you donate, it'll be anonymous to PayPal, and you can just simply say don't say anything, whatever. If you tip, it's going to show up here. If you don't want your full name, just go ahead and put your first name, or don't put any name at all, and we'd appreciate it. Everything helps. We appreciate you. Also, go to thedumbshow.com. You pick up shirts, hats, things that I'm wearing, Amy's wearing, Leroy's wearing, and Olivia wearing. We have a bunch of beautiful stuff for you to wear, all amazing, made in America by veterans, and we appreciate you. All right, who wants to go first? Liv, you go first, then Amy, then Leroy will go back the other way.
I think it's hilarious that you could just physically see Don Lemon getting frustrated and the big sigh in the middle. And he's getting frustrated because he is not getting the answer out of Elon that he wants. And he keeps rephrasing the same question. It was the same question the entire video. He wouldn't ask anything else, and he kept rephrasing it. Well, Elon's not stupid.
Right.
And Don is not used to having somebody who has an opinion. He's used to the bots that go on CNN, and we're told what to say to interview questions. He's not used to actually interviewing a real person. So I thought it was funny. He was starting to squirm there and getting a little pissy, and I think it was funny.
It's amazing when a man or woman stands up for their convictions and doesn't apologize for them. And I think that's where a strong debate can take place, is when you don't apologize for your beliefs and make sure you know what they are so nobody can twist them around on you. Amy, go ahead.
Gosh, this was great. I didn't know that Don Lemon had his own show at all.
He did. He was fired. It's over now.
No, I mean, this is before. I thought maybe this is after.
No. Let me tell you what happened. So supposedly, according to Don Lemon, Elon Musk went to him and begged him to come on and create a show on Twitter. Begged him. Well, and then it was released by Elon Musk, and they had this interview. This was going to be his first hour show, and Elon hated it so much and the experience with him that he fired him. And he ended the show before the first option. So according to Elon's publications and his representatives, Don asked for a new Cybertruck, millions of dollars, personal, clothing lines and all this shit. And Elon's just like, dude, go fuck yourself. And he fired him. And this is the episode that was supposed to air on Twitter that Don is now, his opening intro is like, I am a creature of freedom, and I thought it was very important to give you the full account of what happened. And Elon's just like, go, screw yourself.
Okay. So that's even better because I didn't know the full story there. So when Elon is trying to explain to him, like, yes, we are allowing freedom of speech, and people may not like it, and their feelings might get hurt, or it might be awful for some people, but we're not promoting that. No one's seeing it. Don just got so quiet, like, oh crap, that's what's wrong with me. No one's promoting my things, and it makes me sad. I felt like that's just, I could see the wheels turning.
Oh there. Yeah, like he was gonna cry. Like, what do you mean you don't appreciate speech? Here's the clip. Yeah. This is so Don Lemon. This is Don Lemon. If he was to be portrayed by an actor, I love this guy. He reminds me of Dulles Hill from West Wing. But this is a great movie. If you like politics and you have not seen Primary Colors, which basically loosely is adapted based off the Bill Clinton and Hillary Clinton saga, it is fucking fantastic. We did this in my political science class, broke this apart. Olivia and I love this movie. Watch this part.
Yeah, well, I think
Shit. Sorry. This is what happens when you use Safari. I don't know why they instituted this back. Let me just get this up on Chrome real quick. Filler. Leroy, did you have something you wanted to add super quick?
Boy, well, mine's not super quick, but I'll try and make it quick if that's okay.
No, don't make it quick. Just say something that is quick. So, it's over. There's the video. Then you can say it after this video. See how that works? That was great. Good job filling that in, buddy. You killed it.
No
you
worries. That's what you get from me.
Yep, you did a great job. Here it is. All right, listen to this. This is just probably one of the best exchanges.
Grandfather would endorse the governor, Jason. Yeah, even if you ran. Okay, yeah, you too, my friend. All right. Howard, where the fuck are my clothes?
Take it easy. Daisy got sidetracked to Washington. She's not a muffin, you know. She works for Sporkin.
What am I doing here? Does this guy even have a chance in hell?
I don't know. I haven't canvassed hell lately. But if we only worked for guys who had a chance in hell, we probably wouldn't have Richard Jennings. Oh, shit. He's bird doggy. Sweetheart, I got a hotel room over here. Why don't you go over with me for a little bit? You and me.
You're crushing my originals.
Sorry, I didn't mean to do that. You know what you're missing? It's got everything. It's got room service.
Wait.
And vibrating bed.
Don't embarrass.
Cable movies. You want to walk the snake? What's that look about? You don't believe me? Listen, baby, I'm telling you, I've got a python in here.
Hey.
Oh.
Gee, I've never seen one that old before.
Come on, bud. Let's park that Mustang back in the garage. She's not married, is she?
Hey, fuck you! Fuck me, fuck you, you redneck son of a bitch!
Fellas.
You ever hear of Anita Hill? Man, you are so lucky she's cool.
Well, hell, I wouldn't have done it. She wasn't cool.
Oh, and you know when a muffin is cool. Your sensitive mind tells you when it's time to show her your cock.
Henry. Where'd you go to school?
What?
Hotchkiss, right? I read up on you. You're a tight-ass, preppy elitist from Hotchkiss.
Bullshit.
Bullshit, it's bullshit. You just called me a redneck, which I'm proud to say I am, and you Hotchkiss are a honky. You just look black, and it's the best part of you. Let you intimidate the pale face, especially lib labs, work that voodoo sexual shit on white girls. Well, I'm probably blacker than you are. I got some slave in me. I can feel it.
If you have not watched this movie, it's so fucking good. And Billy Bob Thornton, I mean, the acting is incredible. John Travolta plays Clinton, and he just absolutely kills it. Who plays Hillary? What's Emma Thompson?
Emma Thompson.
Yeah, Emma Thompson. It's a star-studded cast. Kathy Bates is in it, and it is. If you know the Clinton story, it is so good. Give it a watch. It's hilarious. All right, Leroy, you got your time. Thanks for being patient. Then last topic.
No worries, brother. Voltaire, one of the people who inspired our Constitution and Bill of Rights, once said that I may disapprove of what you have to say, but I will defend to the death your right to say it. And that's what Don is missing here. Don thinks that he doesn't know that there's a difference between hate speech and speech that he hates, right? And so he's completely missing the point that once you accept exemptions to free speech, that at some point those exemptions are going to be used against you. Every time you tell somebody else, oh, you can't say that, at some point that's going to roll back on you, Bubba. And so that's what he's completely missing. And I think Elon is just absolutely masterful at being able to point that out, to roll it back on Don and say, dude, look, I'm abiding by the law. What more do you want? You want me to censor people. You don't want necessarily people to follow the law. You just want me to step in and tell people what they can and can't say. And that's what the left does. That's what they've always done. God, I hate Don.
I don't know if I hate Don, but I don't like him. I don't like him. By the way, wonderful using Voltaire, 17th century French Huguenot Enlightenment author, and probably one of the only people from France who I actually respect. You can't trust the French or the English. But Voltaire is an amazing source. Let's go to the next and last topic. Trumpageddon is coming soon. Man, I tell you what, the media
cannot
is just
be the next
melting down. Full meltdown. You know, this should answer a lot of questions for people, and it's really simple. Democrats they don't care anything about policy that the Republicans believe. They don't give a shit about any of that.
No.
And it's hard for me to say that they don't care. By the way, Brian, thank you. $36.55 donation. We appreciate you very, very much. Thank you, brother. I appreciate you. Here's why. This lady sitting across from, what's this douche plow's name? Is it Trapper?
I don't know.
Tapper. Jake Tapper. Anyway, so sitting across from him, whatever, is Liz Cheney. Liz Cheney voted with Donald Trump and the conservatives 93% of the time. She was ranked like 17. You took all the senators and all the state legislatures, put them together that were Republicans, and she was one of the top 3% Republicans. Everyone calls her a rhino because she went after Trump. Calls her a rhino. She's the farthest thing from a rhino. She's Republican conservative through and through. She just doesn't like Donald Trump. And I don't care. I don't like Liz Cheney. I think she's a complete stooge. But for people to call her a rhino is about as stupid as it gets because she's not a rhino. She just doesn't like Trump. And that's why people don't like her. But if CNN truly cared about the policies, if they truly cared about the politics of Republicans, they would completely denounce her and not allow her on the show. But because she doesn't like Trump, she qualifies for the Democrat Party. That is the difference between us and them. They don't give a shit about policy. They only care about who hates Trump. Listen to this.
What would a second Donald Trump term look like?
Well, he cannot be the next president. Because if he is,
you can't imagine the things that he's going to do. Mexico, Canada. We can't go to Canada because eventually Canada will become annexed to America.
And shoot visitors to the White House. Yeah. That means he can shoot the first lady.
We're going to see violence, the likes of which we didn't even see on January 6th.
Did you hear what that woman just said? But that's for Amanda, who no longer is here because she got banned.
Make it illegal to run against him, to throw his opponents in jail, to shut down the media.
He will make himself into the Fuhrer, and he will make everybody raise their hand and salute him.
Okay, there's white chocolate vanilla mocha.
Marshall.
Seriously, does she look anything? This isn't about race, folks, but I'm sorry. I don't know if she qualifies as black anymore. She looks like Korean. Why do all rich black people not all, but most of them get rid of their one thing that makes them unique to who they are? I mean, why do you bleach your skin? What are you doing? What's up with the haircut? I mean, seriously, you look like you're in frickin' Sling Blade. I mean, that haircut, make me happy. It's horrible. No, seriously, man. Dude, fuck that. You just said you hate Don Lemon. How do you not hate Joe Reed, his brother? Come on.
Because I don't give a shit what they look like. I just care about what policies they're going to push on me.
I do. I care about both. Joy Reid, I absolutely care. No, I do care. Why? Because
I said I get it.
No, you don't. Damn it! You just tried to make you just tried to whittle me down to being materialistic, and that's not what this is about. You shout from the rooftop how important being black is, and keeping your culture and being to your roots, and then you do what Don Lemon and her did, which is try to be as white as possible. I don't understand that. Like, if I got onto a network, the last thing I would do is all of a sudden use Soul Glow and start wearing gold chains. I'm sorry. Am I wrong? Well,
I probably would. I wish I was Tanner, but I think Joy Reid's trying to be more like Donald Trump with that hair. Like, honestly, it's a little nod to Trump. She looks a little
orange.
Yeah, she claims to hate him, but maybe she really truly is like in love with him, and
maybe
this is her way. I don't know.
What if this is her way to draw in more of a Trump crowd? Notice the red shirt, red being a Republican color. Maybe this is her way of, hey, I want to try and draw some crowd from the right. I need a new demographic.
Here's my problem is, why are you splitting the screen when you're in the same studio?
Right.
That's what I don't understand. I mean, the reason why we're splitting the screen is pretty simple, because we've got two other guests and Olivia and I can't do it. But it's just you two. I don't understand why you're splitting the screen. Whatever, fine. Here we go. How dare you make it seem like I dislike her just because of the way she looks? It's just so much more than that. That's just that's the whipped cream on the top of the white chocolate milk.
Include him using martial law against the American people.
Terminate the Constitution.
Rewrite the Constitution.
Create mass internment camps.
Throw everyone into Gitmo.
Might be sent to jail or their rights might be suppressed, especially minority groups in society.
You might have any number of things happen to you and your family.
Every one of us, our freedom, our liberty, none of us is safe.
He's going to have people around him executing against an enemy's list.
Assassinate generals.
Ordering troops to attack American citizens.
Trump's very well armed and extremist.
It's almost like they didn't see his first presidency where none of this shit took place. None of it. Not even a scintilla of this took place. It's almost like this is why America's voting for him right now, because they're like, none of this shit is real. What else isn't real? Listen, America's a little slow on the uptake, and I've got to explain things real slow sometimes, but they're not this dumb because they go, wait a second, he didn't kill any generals. He didn't do all this shit in his first 4. What makes you possibly think he's going to do it in his next 4? This is stupid.
This is another case of the left actually saying what they want to do if they were to get in power again.
Mm-hmm. Right. The left's like, he can't do this because this was our game plan for 2024. Yeah. Seriously?
Kill people. He's going to basically burn the house down.
He will unravel the institutions of our democracy.
Draw similarities between Mussolini and Hitler.
Adolf Hitler and Benito Mussolini.
Makes Donald Trump even more dangerous.
Wants to take away your vote.
Senate and the House are immediately going to be paralyzed. People will begin in their minds to censor themselves. They might say, well, maybe I shouldn't say this.
Kind of like right now on Facebook, Twitter, and everywhere else.
Yeah. Like when Don Lemon wants you to do that, right? He doesn't.
You know what they're going to say next? They're going to be like, he's going to take your guns away. Donald Trump's going to take your guns. That's the next thing he's going to say. He's going to take away. He's going to give you the right to have abortions. I mean, they don't even know what the hell they're saying.
Democracy.
I think that could be the end of our democracy.
But democracy is dead if Trump is reelected.
Cozy up to Putin that democracy will be at risk.
The absolute destruction of the Justice Department as we know it.
The Justice Department could be entirely transformed.
I am really concerned about that.
Transform is not working for Hillary Clinton? Is that what you're telling me? Oh, shuckers.
Every person who was associated with the attempted coup elevated in the administration.
If he's reelected, he will curb transgender rights.
And the rule of law.
Arrest political opponents.
To persecute, not prosecute, but persecute his enemies.
Take a wrecking ball to the rule of law.
He's going to make the law. Everyone else will have to follow.
A vote for Donald Trump may mean the last election that you ever get to vote in.
To go after the independent and free parts of American civic life.
He would tear down our institutions. Purge the government of employees.
Department by department effort to weaponize the powers of the government.
To use the military to quash protests. Ridding the government of all democratic safeguards.
Junking American democracy as we have always known it.
There's another black white guy.
That he would try to stay in office beyond a second term. That he would never leave office.
There's no question.
Trump is reelected, he won't leave.
Donald Trump will never leave office voluntarily.
And what that means is that everybody who wants us to remain a republic has to put.
Do you remember when Rachel Maddow was very pretty and soft on the eyes?
I used to watch her, but that was like in Colorado.
This was before she was completely nucking futs. Like, she is like so freaking nuts now. It's weird. It's like blink if you're being held hostage weird. But I remember when she was so pretty and she'd wear those tortoiseshell glasses and everyone knew she was lesbian and nobody cared because she didn't care and she didn't make it all about it where it's like, hi, my name's Rachel Lesbian. I eat pussy Maddow. And now everything I'm done. I don't care. I've been hanging out with Izzo. I just don't fucking care anymore about pissing people off. I'm sick of it. Just report the damn news. Do you know how many times she's been wrong? Do you know how many times she has come out and literally Glenn Becked it up and said it's the end of the world and Donald Trump this? She's always wrong. Every prediction she makes is wrong. Why does she still have a job? Because she's a protected class. Go ahead, Leroy. Okay, good. Well, you interrupted when I was talking, so I figured you had something to say. Did you have
other thing aside? And work together urgently right now to stop that from happening.
It's over. It's over. All right. discuss amongst yourself. Oh shit! I don't mind that Rachel Maddow has an opinion, but that is some of the most unhinged, batshit crazy stuff I have heard, at least since lunch today at noon. Who wants to go?
Well, at least you got Republic right.
Yeah. Probably the only one.
She said democracy like 700 times after that.
Well, everyone else said democracy. Rachel Maddow at least said, if you want to keep your republic. And, newsflash, folks, if you live in Ohio, you're an Ohioan. If you live in Florida, you're a Floridian. If you live in a republic, you're a Republican. Love it.
Funny.
Listen, now it's hate speech. To say republic versus democracy, they're saying it's hate speech.
It's not hate speech.
That's what they're saying now is when you say it's a republic, it's dog whistling for white Christian nationalism. This is all over Twitter. This is all over the news media.
I didn't know that.
Really?
Listen, I
pledge allegiance to the flag. Let me know when your headlights get as big as fucking saucers. Let me know when that lightning bolt. Sure, you can.
Yeah, you can't say those words of hate anymore. That is a pledge to Satan. You have to stop.
Yeah.
Go.
Sorry.
No. I'll just say this. I am done being afraid of making fun of black people who aren't black. And I'm done of making fun of people who are redneck morons. And I'm done making fun of people because they're gay that I can't make a joke. It's just, I'm so sick of this. We don't have to tread so carefully. We don't. You can speak your mind and make a joke. You can say something that's true. And I can say with no doubt that Don Lemon and Joy Reid have no idea what it's like in Black America. I'm sorry. I can say that with no equivocation. They are both multimillionaires. They have freaking Park Avenue apartments. They are uber fucking rich. They don't take the subway. They don't go to the grocery store. They're just like Tucker. They're just like Tucker Carlson. Don't be racist, Liv. They're just like Tucker Carlson. Just like Glenn Beck. These guys have no idea what it's like out there. They have no idea what it's like to live in a slum. They have no idea what it's like to have a landlord that won't fix anything and charges you. You have no what it feels like to live paycheck to paycheck. And either does anyone on this panel. I'm done pretending that these people are somehow, because they're in a prominent position, that they understand what it's like to be white or black or lesbian or gay in today's society, when they are not a part of society. They are the elite. They are the ones that have personal drivers. They are the ones who have bodyguards. They are the ones that have no idea what it's like out there for the middle class or the lower class individual. That is my point, and it has nothing to do with the color of their skin. It has to do with their lack of it. Their passion for it, and they pretend something that is unearned and untrue. I don't care how much they starved 20 years ago or 30 years ago to pretend that somehow they are less fortunate. It's just bullshit. One last thing. It's like people that sit up there and go, you got to go up and rise up and you got to work, and the middle class people and the steel unions, and you've got to quit and you got to strike. And I'm like, dude, you're a fucking multimillionaire, Glenn Beck. What are you talking about? Ben Shapiro, how can you sit here and say that Social Security isn't important and you should work until you're 85 and dead? Well, that's easy for you to say. You're a multi-fucking millionaire. So I just, there. Leroy, go ahead. Sorry.
Joy Behar, Whoopi Goldberg, Don Lemon, every one of these people who have a platform on the left and tell you, when Matt said bodyguard, that's what sparked this off. Every one of those people who tell you that at some point we need stricter gun control laws, we need you to give up your Second Amendment right, or we need you to, nobody needs a semi-automatic weapon, blah, 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 weapons of war. Every damned one of them has a bodyguard with exactly that. And they'll tell you, you shouldn't have that. What they really mean is, you shouldn't have that, but I want my bodyguard to have it. Just don't forget that. That's the level of hypocrisy that these people live in. That's the world that they live in.
Yeah. This isn't about the color of your skin. This is just about hypocrisy. And it seems that there is a very specific person on the left and the right who are diametrically opposed as far as their income, the color of their skin, their overall beliefs, except they only believe in absolutes, and they only believe that their side is right. And those two people are extremely dangerous, no matter what their sexual disposition or colors are. And they are the ones that are causing the division in this country. This country is not as divided as people think. I do not believe this shit. Because my neighbors and I don't go out and have open conflict. We're not throwing frickin' rakes at each other from across the land with garbage cans and setting, frickin' building trebuchets and sending the kids over to storm the castle.
Oh, that'd be awesome.
Yeah, I know, but nobody feels that way here. And your neighborhood doesn't either. And this is not the way it is in society. This is just a microcosm of a bunch of people on social media who talk really loud and have giant accounts, and therefore they control the narrative. And those people are worthless as tits on a board. Amy, take us out with your 1 minute, then Olivia, then Leroy, and then we'll call it a night.
Well, I was going to ask a question about why everyone is so up in arms about Trump not giving up his presidency if he wins. And after 4 years, it's it. He left. I know some people claim he's still president, although, I mean, that's just craziness. People are still claiming that he still identifies as the president, but so we all know that's not real. So can we, relay that identifications to other things in the world? However, I don't know. I'm so frustrated by this ramblings on the left. It's very frustrating. It's every single day now. It's just crazy talk. And I want to just be like, hey, y'all, come back to reality. None of this happened 4 years ago. None of this happened. And we're all still alive. He didn't throw everyone in jail. He didn't go killing people at, anywhere. It's just, I don't know. It's just a lot of crazy.
Well, there's only one party that's thrown people in jail.
Right.
I was just going to say it. I was just going to say that.
Yep.
Sorry. Shit. I should have shut up. I apologize, panel. Go ahead, Olivia.
Yeah, I was going to say that. There's only one party that's persecuted their political opponents.
Yeah.
There's only one party that wants to stack the court.
And Jen Psaki, fuck you. She's like, all those insurrectionists, nobody's been charged with insurrection. And I hate you that you make me defend J6ers. I really do. But that's, insurrection isn't even on the table. The fact that these people were tried as enemy combatants is bullshit. Right. If they weren't charged with sedition, I don't care about seditious conspiracy, sedition, treason, if insurrection, if those things weren't on there, then you have no reason to put them as enemy combatants. That's absolutely ludicrous. Liv, anything else?
Oh, I was just going to say, when you're talking about Joy Reid or whatever the heck her name is, and Don Lemon, they're calling Kaepernicking it. It's pretty much what it is.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah. Yeah.
It's exactly what it is. He thinks, he claims all this stuff, and he's so not.
If you wipe your ass with $100 bills, you got no reason to talk. And Don Lemon, that's it. I mean, the guy's he's Hodgkins. That's it. That clip is for him. And I wish I could have a debate with him, because I'd just be like, dude, I was watching you and Elon Musk. Do you realize how fucking stupid you sounded? How you have a position in this country where you have a voice, where people actually admire you, and that is what you give your fans? That's the best you can do. In my opinion, you should never speak in front of people ever again. If that's the best you got, because all you had to do was say this. Do you believe in censorship? And you say, no, I don't. Do you believe that anyone should be able to say whatever they want without consequence? He says, unless it's illegal, say thank you very much for clarifying and move on. That's it. Instead, you're trying to get a guy whose IQ is double yours to say something that he is not going to say. Know when you're outmatched. And the funny thing is that if I was ever to interview Elon Musk, if I was ever to interview Jordan Peterson, if I was going to interview even Bill Clinton, I would realize that I'm looking and talking to somebody who probably knows more about the subject that I'm going to bring up than I ever could. And there has to be a point of deference and respect where maybe you just listen versus trying to go ahead and outthink the person who is kicking your ass in 4D chess while you play backgammon. That's all I got. Leroy's done. Amy's done. Amy, you got yours. Liv, did you get yours? Everybody get their final? No, Leroy needs his final say. Go ahead. Yeah, go ahead.
I just wanted to add something real quick. If I had been the guy sitting across from Don, and Don says, well, why do you allow hate speech on your platform? Honestly, I would probably have retorted right then and there, I think what you're asking me is a hate speech. And now I feel like we need to call the police and have you arrested. Because what you're saying is hate speech, right?
Right, because you can define it.
Throw that, exactly. There's no definition to it. Throw it back on him and say, well, now you're arrested. Thanks.
He did kind of do that when he said, you don't like what I say, right? That's what, so what your definition is hate speech is you don't like what's being said. And that is not what hate speech is. In fact, there's no such thing as hate speech. There is nothing that anyone can say to change your mind if you don't let them. There's nothing anyone can say to alter your feelings unless you allow them to do so. So you need to be a willing participant in hate speech in order for it to work. That's the truest thing, which means that you're accepting of it. Because the answer is, why don't you just walk away? It's like my troll who said they were going to sue me and take my house. I understand you felt depressed. I understand you felt isolated against. I understand that you felt that I blatantly, went after your character. But did you have to come back 600 times in order to finally get the message that you shouldn't have? So it's the same thing as those idiots. If you don't like it, walk away and turn it off and you never have to see it again. It's that simple. But if you're the type of person that just constantly surfs and goes digging for garbage, guess what? You're going to find it.
Yeah.
All right. That's it, folks. We'll be back on tomorrow. Oh, no, we won't. Yeah, Liv, update them, please.
Xfinity is in our area and they're like upgrading lines and stuff like that. So we are supposed to have outages throughout the day starting at 6 a.m. So I don't think we're going to make it on unless they get done with this soon. So we're just going to plan on not being on.
So what I'm going to do is I'm going to do a recorded show and try to get that up. Also, 4 years. Have I ever yawned in the middle of a show? Have I ever yawned in a show?
All of us yawn.
I've never yawned in a. Sorry, that was totally screwed up. I apologize. I just escaped. That's because you're not a human being. You're an alien. You're a lizard. Lizards breathe through their eyelids. We learned that from Bull Durham. Yep. Fernando Valenzuela, lizard eyelids. Okay. So tomorrow there will be an article in the morning. I'm going to get that first thing before they cut us off. I'm going to try to do a recorded show. I love that you love your documents of freedom, Bobby. Thank you all. Please go over to the Dumb Show. Last thing, please donate, folks. We need your help. We got to keep this free. The way we do that is with your donations. Go to thedumbshow.com. You can click on donations or pick up a shirt, a hat, or something else for you, the wife, the kids, or the puppy. And you can pick up the documents of freedom that Leroy is showing you. Thanks for watching the Don't Unfriend Me Show. Love you too. See you guys next week. Amy Wednesday, Leroy, we'll see you Friday if you can make it.
Yes. Love you guys.
Good night. Good night.
Love
See
you.
you. Peace.
Adjusting transmitter output.
Thanks, you too. Bye.
This is the Don't Unfriend Me Show with your hosts, Matt, Leroy, Amy, Olivia, and Mike. Geopolitics, military analysis, and election coverage. Coming to you live on the Spreely.tv network and all major social media channels at The Dumb Show. Honest, direct, unfiltered. We can agree, we can disagree. Just don't unfriend me.